little longer. It's not. Just give me a call when you need. Because I have company. I have someone I'm talking to. All right. Okay then. All right.
Well, it didn't record very well, so can I do that again?
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me what it was like, and
Have a seat.
thank you.
You sit here. That's my seat. Because I have a footstool.
Okay, all right.
For my feet.
Great. So I think we got it going now. Let's give it a try. So tell me about the Willing Worker School.
It was 2 floors.
Mm-hmm.
You go up a set of steps in front of the building,
Mm-hmm.
and you go into an area that looked like a little, I guess, I don't know what I called it, like a hallway, and you would go to the left. You would go into the 1st and 2nd grade room where Helen Lee was the teacher.
Okay.
And then to the right in that hallway, you would go to the classroom where I think the 6th and 7th graders were. I do know that Rosalie McWashington was the teacher there at the time. And then if you go downstairs and you go in the door, and the whole bottom floors was 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And I know one teacher down there was Mrs. Hannah Daniel.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if any, I know there were other teachers there other than Mrs. Daniel for the 3rd grade, but I don't know who they were.
Do you remember much about the 2 of them? I mean, can you say something about them?
Well, I know Helen Lee, she was very, very strict. Very strict. I don't want to tell tales.
Yeah.
And Rosalie Austin, she was different. She was easygoing, but she was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Helen Lee was nice too. She was my cousin, but she was too strict, I thought. In this day and time, she would have never survived.
Mm.
And then
so she would spank you if you made a mistake.
Yes, she was. Had Betty.
Betty?
Betty.
What was Betty? A stick or something?
And Betty was a paddle.
Oh, Betty. Oh, wow. Betty the paddle. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. And downstairs, Mrs. Daniel. She was strict, but not to the degree that Helen Lee was.
Right.
Yes.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. What about the toilets? Were they inside or outside?
No, the toilets were outside. And the girls' toilet, if you go face the building, were up to the left of the building.
Right.
And the boys was to the right of the building, way up on a hill like.
And what about eating?
Eating, I know Mama used to pack our lunch and bring it to us.
Oh, she would bring it to you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool.
Sometimes. If she didn't have time to pack it before we went to school, but she would bring our lunch to us.
And water?
And we would, I don't know about water. I know, and I know we had water.
In some cases, they had like a big pail, and you would take a pitcher and pour it into your glass. Do you remember anything like that? No, that's okay. And it was heated with a stove? Is that wood or coal?
I think coal.
Coal.
I think.
And did you have any outside activities like games or sports?
We really played baseball. That was the main thing. They played baseball, softball.
Wow.
Outside. I don't know, and that's the only game I remember. You would play games like Ring Around the Roses.
Sure.
And things like that the girls did.
Now, baseball, I know baseball is very popular in Loudoun County.
It was.
Did schools play other schools?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
No. We just played amongst ourselves. I know when we got older, my brother played baseball.
Oh.
He was very good. What did they call him? He could pitch both ways.
Oh, switch hitter. If you could just walk me through, like when you come to school, like the first thing you would do and just what it was like during the day.
Oh, if I can remember right, when we come in, we would take our coats off and hang our coats. We would have morning devotion. we'd take turns having morning devotion. We would have inspection.
Meaning you would do the prayer, lead the prayer?
Yeah. Each one, we would pick out the song that we wanted to sing.
Mm-hmm.
We have pledge allegiance to the flag and sing, and then we would have scripture. Yes, we would.
So it's like going to church.
It was just very short. Might recite a Bible verse or something, and then we would have daily inspection. I don't know whether we had it before devotion or after devotion, where they would check your fingernails, your teeth, fingernails, and handkerchiefs. We would have.
Oh, really? Did you get a reward for being better than anybody else in that way?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember. You have, I think, maybe a chart, a star, to show that.
That's interesting because there used to be something called a 5-star program, and people who were good at eyes, ears, nose, they would get 5 stars. Anything like that?
I know we got something, got a star or something. We always had to have you have your teeth, see if your teeth were brushed and clean.
Sure.
And if your fingernails were clean, and having a handkerchief. Yes.
Very good. So so you've gone through the daily inspection by the teacher, right?
And then I think as we got older, we might have taken turns, the children, doing that.
Okay.
But not the young ones.
Right. That would be done by the teacher. But did you you didn't take your clothes off?
No.
I just had to ask.
No.
All right, so you go through that. And about what time did this all start, would you say?
I guess we had to be at school by 8 or 9 o'clock.
Okay. And this whole process would take how long, you think?
Oh, that would be very short.
Okay.
Because we spent the day working.
In class.
Yes, and we'd have recess at different times. And we'd come back in and start all over again. Sometimes the big ones would help the younger ones with the work. But mostly when they would work, you would have something, an assignment or something that you would be working on when she went and got the other group started.
Right. Okay. Did your school participate with other schools in anything like spelling contests or art contests or anything like that?
I can't remember.
Yeah, sure. And what kind of desks did you have?
Oh, we had the desk with the chair, all one piece of a row of them, and you lift the top up.
Oh, sure.
And then
you mean like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it would go to where we had the individual desks, where you had a desk to write on, and the books would go under.
Okay.
Under the seat. And then even the younger ones had long tables.
Okay.
Like that chair come from.
That's from back then? Got it. Interesting. And your day ended about when, would you say?
About 3 o'clock or so.
3 o'clock or so. If you don't mind my telling me, what is probably the most enjoyable moment from that school for you?
I can't think of anything really that stands out. I liked going to school.
Okay, that's good.
And having friends and someone to play with. Because when we went home, we were together, even though we went to one another's houses. We didn't go up and down streets, not to suit ourselves.
Yeah. You know, in some schools, like Willisville, the boys every once in a while will be asked to but oil the floors. Do you remember anything like that? Who cleaned the schoolhouse?
I know I can remember washing the blackboard.
Yeah.
Maybe dust our desk. And every year, I think each child kept their area clean, their desk or table and books and things. They had to keep those clean and,
Yeah.
themselves.
Was there a garden outside? It was no garden. Just grass or just dirt?
Just grass. And dirt too.
Yeah. And who took care of that?
I guess they had, I don't know whether Mr. Ray was down there or not.
But it wasn't the students.
No. I can't remember my brothers doing any work.
So this is before buses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because buses didn't come until 41.
No. The buses came because not only did Purcellville children go here, children from Round Hill came here and back out
to the Willing Worker. So you had buses that went to the Willing Worker School, or Carver?
No, let me see. I don't know how they got there if you didn't come by bus.
That's interesting. Okay, it's something I'm trying to find out about buses.
It's buses. I never really paid any attention to how they got. A lot of kids walk to school.
Sure, but from Round Hill, that's a huge hike.
Now they had. I don't know if they had a black elementary school in Round Hill. They didn't have it. They
did it one time.
They had one in Hamilton.
It was north of Round Hill. There was a little schoolhouse, but it disappeared.
All right. Now the one in Hamilton.
Yes.
Was there. I don't know if they went to the Oddfellows Hall behind the old church, that Methodist church.
It's the house now. I have a photograph of the Oddfellows schoolhouse when it was still a schoolhouse. And a friend of mine, Win Saffer, I don't know if you know that name. Win Saffer lives near me. He's from an old family here. And he knows a white friend, who played basketball in there with the colored kids. And it was sloped. The floor was evidently sloped. So some kids went to Hamilton. There's a schoolhouse, a colored schoolhouse in Hamilton. Some kids went there. Some kids went to the Oddfellows, as I understand it. And there was like a debate as to who would go to what. Do you remember that?
No.
But you remember the Oddfellows building?
Because Papa was.
Did you ever go there?
No.
I mean, not as a student, but you ever visited? Never saw it.
Never saw it.
Oh.
I know of it from my grandfather.
Did you ever see any other colored schools?
No, I never went to another one.
No, I don't mean in terms of going as a student. I mean, did you ever visit, see it?
I went to the one in Waterford.
Okay, that's a famous one there in Waterford.
But not to Round Hill, not to Hamilton.
Yeah, well, not much reason to do it if you don't go to school there, but I just thought maybe. Cool. Well, that's terrific. Any other thoughts you want to add?
No, I can't think of anything.
I just want to say you were very gracious to loan me those textbooks.
Oh, I'm glad.
Because I learned so much from them.
I'm glad you did.
And these were, just to make sure I know who used them. So is it your grandmother who used those textbooks, or your mother?
My mother's aunt.
Your mother's aunt. She used the textbooks to learn how to teach. I mean, there are fabulous lectures in there about which I think you could use today in many cases. So I am going to go on the internet and see if I can find copies. I think there is a digital copy you can see on, it's called Google. They're called Google Books. But I'm trying to see if there's a physical version of it, because it's something I'd like to use as an exhibit. I travel around, to meet people, then I pull out sometimes stones that I find. I don't know if you know, but we're trying to figure out where every school was. So one school I was trying to find was the Bluemont Color School. I couldn't find anybody who even knew there was a Bluemont Color School.
And it had to, because...
No, there was. We found it.
Oh, you did?
We found the remains. We had to use a compass and an old map, and we discovered it up on a hill, and all that was left were the stones of the foundation. But we found it right where it's supposed to be. So we're trying to do that for each schoolhouse and then mark where it was. But the other thing we'd like to do is figure out where the teachers lived. these teachers were, if you will, real heroes of education, right? They're trying to help you.
Mm-hmm. And usually they live with some family.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, because I know my mother used to have teachers to stay with her. That way after we were born.
Right.
But she had teachers to stay with her. And Helen Lee, she used to have teachers to stay with her, even she was teaching. And who else?
You ever heard of Miss Scipio?
Yes, Miss Beatrice Scipio.
On Foggy Bottom Road. And I've been to her cabin there. It's like a cabin. I've been inside. And I think other teachers might live with her as well at times. She sounds like an amazing woman.
She was something.
So you knew her.
Not very well, but
Right. Everybody says wonderful things about her.
Yes.
And I was so glad to see that her building, her home survived.
Now, I don't know, what's her name? I live in Purcellville. She used to teach. What is her name? She's real tiny. She sort of reminds you of Miss Scipio in looks. What is her name? She taught for years and years. She has a couple of girls.
Well, if you remember, maybe we can send me a...
She might be, because she's one of the older ones. She's older than I. I'm 80, so
Really?
Yeah. Let's see. Her next name is not Smith.
Well, one last thing I want to ask you about. One day we were going through a box and we discovered all this paper wrapped up in string. We talked about it at the conference. These were petitions. So parents and teachers would write a piece of paper asking for something, toilets, teachers, transportation. And they go around and get other parents to sign, and then we give it to the government. Well, this is during Jim Crow. It was a very brave thing to do, but they did it. Do you remember if your mother or anyone else particularly might have done that, or do you ever seen one of these?
No, I haven't.
We have this whole stack of them, and what we're doing is taking each one and trying to do a bio on each person who signed it. We photograph them, we're transcribing them, writing down what it says, and then we're going to put it all together into one book, because, very few counties have that kind of record. And this is, to me, really civil rights history of the, right down there at the at reality level. So, well, if you hear of anybody who knows something about that, I'd like to know more about them.
I don't know about Papa, because I know he worked toward promoting education for black children. He had, my grandfather had a lot of children, because Papa had 3 different sets of children. And it was back then Papa's first wife died, and he had several little children, so naturally he needed someone to take care of them.
Sure.
So he married again, and then she died. She caught on fire they were butchering, and then she died.
She caught on fire?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Papa,
you hear about stories like that.
Papa, Mom, they just a hearsay. Papa said Papa rolled her and put the fire out.
Well, that's how you do it. Yeah. Kill the oxygen.
Yeah, and she died. And he married my mother's mother. And she was the last one he married. Papa had a total of 17 children.
17. Amazing.
17. He was a barber up here in town.
Oh. What was his name?
George Lee.
Okay. Well, I think my battery is telling me it's about to die.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
I'm glad.
If you could just for the film tell me your name and where you live.
Shirley Ann Sims, Washington. I live in Purcellville at 510 East G Street.
Thank you, ma'am. And this is being done on the day after Thanksgiving, 2018.
Yes.